solar glasses as well.
You're welcome, Neil.
Really good brands. No, thank you.
Excellent.
Good luck to everybody there back in Lano. Good luck to everybody, chasing the eclipse across the USA.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, thanks a lot, Neil.
Thanks a lot, Neil.
All
Here
right,
in
cool.
Lana, we've been working closely with the Visitor Centre over the past year or so. We've been working with Tony Gidros, Rebecca Flint and Kim Webb. It's a wonderful town. There's about 3,000 people living here. I'm sure.
Hey guys, Zakkujennasei here. Happy solar eclipse. It's the great American solar eclipse today. Video credit to timeanddate.com. And I'm gonna play a little bit of Paper Mario in a little while, but first I'm gonna shower. I will leave the stream on though, so you guys can see the solar eclipse. Thanks guys. Have fun.
In Mazatlan in Mexico, and we're going to be bringing pictures from Mazatlan as well. So yes, it's all just about to start.
Perfect. Hi, you're watching a total solar eclipse here on timeanddate.com, and we're just getting started. We can see the moon eating away there on the sun in San Diego, California, and there's that beautiful little curve that's going. It's beautiful. And not only are we getting started and the eclipse getting started, but the party is getting started here in Lano. There is music, live music going on across the street, and people are excited and moving around us. And yeah, frankly, quite distracting, but fun going on around here in Lano, Texas. And you know, we're looking at first contact. There should be first contact happening right now just above us. Let me just have a look. It's difficult to see at the moment, but there's something special about first contact, Graham, and it's that little bit of the sun getting eaten away.
That's right. It's happening right now, somewhere above the clouds here in Lano. In a way, it's one of the most magical moments of a solar eclipse. We've spent all the months and years planning for this event, and finally the eclipse begins just very quietly, very unnoticeably, when we just see that very first little nibble into the sun by the moon. It happens right on schedule, exactly as all the calculations predict. And yeah, it's always pretty breathtaking when the eclipse finally happens, very undramatically up there in the sky. From first contact, the moon then keeps eating away at the sun's disk until we arrive at totality, when the moon covers the whole of the sun. Today, there's around about an hour and a quarter between the start of the partial eclipse and totality, when the last bit of the sun gets covered by the moon. First contact is really completely unnoticeable. Around about half an hour into the partial eclipse, that's when you can really start to notice things happening on the ground. That's when you might start to notice some changes in temperature. That's when you might start to notice some strange things happening with shadows that the sun is casting. As the moon is eating away at the sun, it's turning the sun into a thinner and thinner crescent. So instead of the sun being this round light source in the sky, it ends up as this sort of very thin strip of light in the sky. And where you have objects that are casting shadows, if you have an edge of an object that is aligned with that thin crescent of the sun, then it casts a shadow edge that is much sharper than one that is kind of perpendicular to that thin crescent of the sun. So you can start to notice objects having sharper and more blurry shadows, depending on how they're aligned with the narrowing crescent sun. All of that happens around about, say, half an hour into the partial phase. Right now across the United States, first contact is happening as the eclipse sweeps towards the east. For first contact, that's something you can only notice if you're really looking carefully for it. And of course, you have to be looking carefully using proper eye protection like eclipse glasses. And Anna, you've got an interesting message about eclipse glasses.
Yes, because we've been handing these eclipse glasses out around town. There's loads of eclipse glasses available for people. They've got their ISO certification, they're from reputable sources, so people are lucky here in Lano to have proper eclipse glasses. But Astronomers Without Borders, our friends at AWB, they are collecting used eclipse glasses from the eclipse, and what they do is they send it to underserved communities internationally. So they take the glasses, they inspect them, they make sure that everything's okay with them, that they're not damaged or fake or anything like that, and they send them across the world for new eclipses. You can find collection centers at libraries, community centers, commercial businesses, wherever you just have to check. You can also go to astronomerswithoutborders.org to see if there's a local recycling center near you. And it's so nice to know that these things will be used for more eclipses, isn't it, Graham?
Absolutely. It's a fabulous campaign that they run, and it really gives all kinds of people an opportunity to see an eclipse in parts of the world where otherwise they wouldn't be able to see anything. So yeah, great campaign to support. Stick with us here on timeanddate.live. We're enjoying great pictures from San Diego, where it's just going to be around about a 50% partial eclipse today. We're coming up towards first contact in Arkadelphia in Arkansas. First contact there is coming up at 17:31 UTC. So in around about 8 minutes from now, we'll see first contact in Arkadelphia. As soon as the clouds reveal the sun, we'll be having pictures from Neil Sanders here in Llano. So lots and lots to come. Do have a look at timeanddate.live, where we have all the updates from around the world, and pictures and blog posts and comments and all the latest news on there. And Anna and I will be back here shortly.
You're watching a total solar eclipse here on timeanddate.com, and we're looking at some gorgeous images there from San Diego, California, and Arkadelphia, Arkansas. We can see that the moon has started eating away at the sun, so the eclipse has begun in Arkansas as well. So we're excited about that. We have been experiencing some problems getting our images in from Mazatlan. There's some technical issues there. We're really sorry about that. We're trying to see what we can do, but we still have telescopes here waiting for totality, so we're not going to miss totality of this total solar eclipse. We're getting questions and comments on YouTube about the sunspots, Graham.
Right. Looking at the feed coming in there from San Diego, we can see two dark spots on the surface of the sun, and those are indeed sunspots. Yeah, the sun is a big ball of plasma, kind of a big ball of charged gas, and there's lots of activity going on. There's lots of magnetic field activity going on, and there are some regions which are cooler than others. And where we have these cooler regions, that is what produces these dark areas known as sunspots. Now, Anna, the sun does have an 11-year solar cycle where we tend to go from very low numbers of sunspots to generally much higher number of sunspots. And we are nearing the solar maximum in this 11-year cycle. We are getting close to the period where we would expect to see a high number of sunspots. And so there has been a lot of expectation and a lot of people looking forward to being able to see a lot of sunspots during this eclipse. In fact, the sun is fairly quiet at the moment, and we really do just have these two sunspots that are visible on this side of the sun at the moment. So yeah, a lot quieter and a lot fewer sunspots than we might have expected for this eclipse. But yeah, on the feed there from San Diego, we can see those two dark spots, one slightly larger than the other. Yeah, slightly cooler regions of the sun's surface.
But back home in Norway, we've been experiencing a lot of aurora lately, and I think that has to do with the sunspots, right? Like it's got to do with the activity on the sun, right?
It does, yeah. This 11-year solar cycle, that's really a cycle for how active the sun is. And when the sun is active, that's when we get more sunspots, and that's also when we get more aurora here on Earth. That's right. We get more prominences. We tend to get more solar flares. The sun is chucking out a lot more stuff in Earth's direction. So you're right. In Norway, this winter has been a good period for aurora. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's just go out, look north, and you might be lucky to see some. It's really amazing. Does it affect the eclipse in any way? This active sun?
Well, one thing that when we come to totality, and we'll be talking about this again a bit later, at totality, the real highlight there when the moon is covering the sun's visible surface is that we can see the solar corona, which is the outer part of the sun's atmosphere. It's there all the time, but it's much fainter than the sun's disk itself, so we usually can't see it. We can see it during totality, during a solar eclipse. And yeah, the shape of the corona, that also changes over the course of this 11-year solar cycle. Around solar maximum, the sun's corona is rather more symmetrical, whereas around solar minimum, the corona is kind of more stretched out, more like a pair of wings. So that is going to be something for us to have a look out for when we get to totality. Coming up here in Llano in less than an hour now, 1834 UTC, totality here in Llano. So we're getting close. We have to say that actually, I mean, here on the ground, really still nothing, nothing to see in the sky because of the clouds, but really nothing to see yet in terms of changes in light levels, or there's really no sense at all that anything is going on with the sun up there above the clouds. But that's all going to start to change rather dramatically over the course of the next, 40 minutes.
Yeah, and we're going to continue putting our eclipse glasses on, looking up, because as soon as that sky, those clouds get a bit lighter, we can actually see the sun through the clouds. And we have been looking at the moon eating away at the sun, so it's been beautiful. If you're lucky enough to be in the path of totality, or even just in a partial area, use your eclipse glasses and take a look. If not, go to timeanddate.live and check out our live news feed. We've got pictures, we've got reactions, we've got all the interesting background stories. We even have stories from the road here in Texas, United States. So we will be back soon. In the meantime, we're going to be looking up at the sky and trying to find the sun.
Sorry about that, guys. I had to do some chores, so
You're watching at Total Solar Eclipse here on TimeBetter.com, and we're getting excited.
yeah, I just did some house cleaning, and the reason why I decided not to stream is because my room and some of the parts of the house they're a little too unorganized for me to get into the zone, but I hope you all have been watching the solar eclipse. I have been, and it looks totally flippin' rad. But yeah, I'll get to the streaming stuff. You know what? I'm not gonna make any promises actually, but if the video is pretty cool, I'm glad. That's all I'm gonna say now. Okay, enjoy the rest of the stream.
The light levels are changing here. We're using our glasses. We're looking up at
of Mexico, the first city in North America to experience totality today is the city of Mazatlan on the Pacific coast of Mexico. And totality is starting there in the next minute, because as we can see, that red dot is just about to reach land on our live eclipse map there. As Anna was explaining earlier, unfortunately, we don't have images from Mazatlan today, but what we do have is the next city along the path of totality in Mexico. Once the shadow has passed over Mazatlan, next on its itinerary is the city of Torreon in Mexico. And our good friends at the Exploratorium have their telescopes on the ground there in Torreon. Totality there is starting at 1816. So that is less than 10 minutes. That shadow we can see on our map, it's moving at 2,500 kilometers an hour. That's like 1,500 miles per hour. So it is racing across Mexico. So we are hoping to bring you images of totality from Torreon, courtesy of our friends at the Exploratorium. But it's the story of the day. It is fingers crossed with the clouds. We have seen some beautiful images in Torreon, but we've also seen some very cloudy clouds as well. Yes, anything we can bring you from totality in Torreon, we're going to be sharing that from 1816. We're looking at just over 4 minutes, around 4 minutes and 10 seconds of totality from Torreon, and we're really hoping that we'll be able to share that here.
We have our fingers crossed. What are we going to be expecting to see, Graham?
Right. So as we approach totality, we have the crescent sun, which just gets narrower and narrower and narrower as the moon eats away more and more of the sun's disk. Eventually, the crescent gets so thin, and the two horns at either side of the crescent, they get so close that they kind of come together in this one bright jewel of remaining sunlight. Around the same time, we start to see the solar corona around the edge of the moon. This is the outer part of the sun's atmosphere. We can't normally see it because the sun itself is too bright, but when the moon covers the sun, it comes into view. The combination of this bright joule of remaining sunlight plus the solar corona visible around the edge of the moon, that produces the effect famously known as the diamond ring. From there, we move quickly into the Bailey's beads stage of the eclipse. This is just the final blobs of sunlight that we can see, actually shining through deep valleys on the edge of the moon's surface. We have these blobs of light. That's the last remaining bit of sunlight we can see before totality begins. Then they disappear. Then the moon is covering the sun's disk completely. The solar corona becomes visible, this kind of ghostly shimmer around the edge of the moon.
Ah, there you go.
Here we are at Torreon, where we can see, right, the narrowing crescent sun. It's looking very faint because of the clouds there in Torreon. That crescent is going to get thinner and thinner over the next 6 minutes until it transitions to this diamond ring effect, these final blobs of light called Bailey's beads, and then 4 minutes, 10 seconds of totality.
It's magical. I'm very excited. It's even on the screen. But I've got my fingers crossed for Lana here as well. So we're super excited here. We're going to leave you to enjoy totality in Torreon. I'm blowing those clouds away with the wind here in Lano, and go to timeanddate.live and check out what's going on there. There's going to be pictures, reactions. There might even be something from Mathatlan there now. Who knows? So go in, have a look. We will be back soon, right before totality here in Lano. But in the meantime, enjoy. And we will see you back here in a few minutes. Wow. That was Torreon, Mexico. Wow. Thank you so much, Exploratorium. That was just a taste. And I'm just everybody's getting excited around here, including me. My heart's pounding. There's chattering, there's music, there's eclipse glasses up at the sky because the light is really changing here. The sky is clear, and we're going to be seeing this total solar eclipse, and I can't even breathe thinking about it. I'm so excited. So, Graham, help me out.
Okay, let's think. Checking in on our eclipse map there, we can see the dark part of the moon's shadow is represented by that small red dot that is racing across North America at around about 2,500 kilometers an hour, which is about 1,500 miles per hour. It is just about to leave Mexico and cross into the United States. So totality about to hit the USA. We have two locations marked along the path of totality there. The first of those locations, that's us here in Llano in Texas. The second marker there is Arkadelphia in Arkansas. That's where we have our time and date telescopes waiting for totality there. Just a quick reminder that the sun is what, 90% eclipsed here, but still eclipse glasses are vitally important, even when there's just the tiniest slither of the moon's crescent remaining. Even through the diamond ring and Bailey's beads, eclipse glasses should be used for looking at any part of the sun. Once the sun is completely covered by the moon, once Bailey's beads has finished, once we're into totality, then eclipse glasses can be removed, and in fact should be removed, must be removed for enjoying the solar corona that surrounds the sun. The solar corona is about as bright as the full moon, so perfectly okay to look at the solar corona without eclipse glasses, as long as the sun's disk itself is completely covered by the moon.
Yeah. And here on this wide angle shot, we're going to show you how dark it gets here. Unfortunately, we don't have a telescope. We have our glasses, and we will be looking up, and we will have totality coming up telescope views coming up from Arkadelphia and Burlington. Fingers crossed, clouds and all. But yes, Torreon really, really wowed me. So now I don't know how to deal with anything anymore. The light is changing. It's just really, really kind of silvery, and you can almost like touch it. It does not feel like twilight. It's like white twilight. The temperature is dropping. We were in 32 degrees Celsius here. It's now down to 25. I can feel it. It's not only goosebumps, it's also the temperature dropping. The birds are they doing anything yet? They're chirping away.
There's certainly a lot of chirping
Yeah.
going on. I think certainly now, right, in the last few minutes, the light levels noticeably have really started to drop here. And that drop is, going to continue over the next 6 minutes until, right, the final minute before totality. That's when we have this sudden plunge in the light level. And that's what we're going to be sharing on our kind of, Anna and I are going to sort of clear out the way of this image of the visitor center here in Llano. And we will have, what have we got? We've got 4 minutes, 24 seconds of totality. Going to be starting at 18:34 UTC.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the total solar eclipse of April 2024, live on timeanddate.com. And we've just had a little over 4 minutes of totality here in Llano, Texas. You were watching our wide angle camera view on the Llano Visitors Center here. I think you saw how amazingly quickly the light level dropped just before totality, and just how quickly the light came back after totality as well. Anna, how are you doing here?
I don't know, maybe I'll cry on TV. I am so overwhelmed. It was magical. It's like someone pokes a hole in the sky and it's just dogs barking, birds flapping about, people cheering. It really is magical.
Yeah, there's a public viewing area just on the other side of the river to us here in Llano. There was a wonderful cheer went up as the last bit of the sun disappeared and the solar corona popped out in the sky. And there was also just this lovely cheer at the end when the sun came back as well. Yeah, that was quite special.
Yeah, it's just like a black hole in the sky, and it's the silvery light. I can't explain it. It's not like twilight. It's just so silver, and it's just breathtaking. And if my heart was pounding earlier, it's just, yeah. Sorry, you guys. I don't have any words. I am blown away. And it really is to show how magical these experiences are. It's just, yeah.
Okay. Meanwhile, the eclipse continues as the moon's shadow races across the United States. So on our live eclipse map there, just above us on the right-hand side of the screen, we can see that the moon's dark shadow, it's now left Llano. It's halfway between Llano, Texas and Arkadelphia, Arkansas. On our main image on the screen there, this is the telescope image coming in from Arkadelphia, from our time and date telescopes on the ground there. That's Constantine and Jeremy getting us, wow, fantastic images there as just that crescent sun gets thinner and thinner and thinner in Arkadelphia. Totality is starting there at 1849, so just about 4 minutes away there. A shorter totality, Arkadelphia is slightly nearer the edge of the path of totality than Llano. We'll have just over 2 minutes, about 2 minutes and 12 seconds of totality coming up in Arkadelphia, starting just in the next few minutes. So the totality in Llano, we showed that on the wide screen. For the totality in Arkadelphia, we're going to enjoy that one through the telescope view there. We still have, by the way, let's not forget Burlington in Vermont, up in the northeastern corner. The partial eclipse is going great guns there. Totality in Burlington coming up at 1926. So still a lot of
emotions to go through.
Absolutely, absolutely. But yeah, things are getting really exciting in Arkadelphia. So we're gonna leave you to enjoy just over 2 minutes of totality there in Arkadelphia, and we will be back after that. Don't forget also timeanddate.live for all the latest photos and updates and comments about the eclipse. And Anna's gonna have a little lie down, and we are gonna be back after totality in Arkadelphia.
Man, this was the peak, guys. That was fucking awesome. Oh, sorry for swearing. Oops. Okay. Well, nice, you know. It's just freezing on me now. I'm gonna restart the stream real quick.